I think there are two elements with China. The first one is they dared to accept devaluation of the currency with low earnings for their exports per quantity. And this allowed them to create employment in a massive scale, now with the labor becoming rare in the eastern provinces. This looks very much like an IMF proposal, but they have complemented the IMF proposal by very strong monitoring of foreign direct investment. The foreign direct investment of Taiwan, coming from Taiwan now, that was foreign direct investment which was increasing the exports, using the technologies developed in Taiwan for labor-intensive exports initially. And that created the same effects in China like in Taiwan. You have, by necessity, a transfer of knowledge. And these two things are allowed to enter more rapidly. By devaluation, also new production lines. You had not to devalue to the level where this production line had been competitive 20 years ago, but now you are limiting the amount of devaluation and you are increasing the jobs. And then this, when the jobs increase and your labor becomes more important, then suddenly you realize that your internal market is developing, and this allows you to be less dependent on the external market. That happened in the last years. The Chinese government deliberately wanted to go for more development of the internal market. And that means also that they were trying to increase the local share of investment goods production, etc. That's initially low quality, but that increases. This talk about self-exploitation is not leading very far. What the Chinese are doing is they are considering that part of their total product would not be produced if the incentives coming from export demand, from demand for their exports, are not there. That was before they entered this policy. They were not better off because the mode of regulation was discouraging production. Now they are considering the important thing is not to get a lot of money, but to get a lot of employment which is productive, so that overall the total production increases. That's what they are doing. And therefore, I think the argument that they are exploiting themselves is misleading. The fact is that China itself, as it increases, increases more than proportionally by its own internal market. That is the shift, and that comes from the fact that labor, by land reform, marginal labor is empowered. You have not poor people like in India, which are starving. You have poor people who have some option and who go to the big cities in the East only provided that they earn better than on their plots. Which was already better than in India. And there you get the normal mechanism of increasing wages following productivity. The Chinese enterprises in the East Coast have to attract people by offering higher wages, and it works like this. So I think it's not yet that China sends more cheap products to the rest of the world, but this is already partially over in the sense that the Chinese internal economy develops.